What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, man, and today we got Shannon Sharpe speaking on the Memphis Grizzlies again. Now, as you all saw, the Warriors won a wire-to-wire contest on Christmas against the Grizzlies, and it was without Steph Curry, but you can tell that the energy level and the anticipation for this game was at another level, so they took full advantage of it. And Klay didn't shoot well, but he ended up even getting a Taunton technical after he hit a three over Dillon Brooks, who I think it's very problematic that Dillon Brooks talks just as much, if not more, than Ja Morant, as if he's a superstar player. I mean, he's really, he's a decent role player, but like I said, he's an expendable player in my last video, you know what I'm saying? So you got Shannon Sharpe, you know, he's tired of Ja Morant and these Grizzlies doing a lot of chirping, and it's not just Shannon, it's everybody in the media and even the fans. I mean, you see people in Ja Morant's comments these days, clout chasing, even though, I mean, you know, that happens to pretty much any other star, but they specifically talk about Ja, for one, trying to overly be a gangster, and two, talking like he's won something. Don't get me wrong, Ja Morant's an MVP talent and everything, but I think it's interesting that at this point it's a significant shift in how everybody felt about him entering the league. You know, he was like, it was almost like he was the likable star in the small market, and he changed that by one, trying to overly be tough, talking about it's cheap to see how these hollows feel. That tweet he had towards just a random fan. You know, he started talking about Steph in a way where it wasn't respectful, and Ja has brought a lot of this on himself, I will say. And so Shannon Sharpe spoke about it, and then you had Klay Thompson talking about both the Memphis Grizzlies and his technical on Dillon Brooks, and here's what they had to say. Check it.
But what message did you want to send tonight?
Man, they was talking about dynasty and all that. You can't talk dynasty when you haven't won before. I don't think people realize how hard that is, the commitment and sacrifice it takes. I mean, you got to sacrifice your body. And I thought that was premature talk, you know, to even mention that word. But they bring the best out of us, and I think we do the same. And even though you don't like them, you got to respect them because they're a threat.
You're typically a very even-keeled, level-headed player. In that moment when you were standing over Dillon Brooks, I mean, just what was the emotion that you're feeling going through your head? What kind of prompted that reaction?
Just some good old-fashioned trash talk. I didn't think it warranted a technical, but I forgot about the taunting rule. And it's always fun to talk trash. We've been doing that since we were in middle school, so that's when you either play your best or you get frazzled. For me, it's usually the former.
This Grizzlies team, speaking of trash talk, is a team that talks a lot. Does that give you guys extra motivation, especially considering the playoff series last year?
To be honest, no. We know what we know what we want to do, and we've done it many times over. So there's really nothing that can be said that will ruffle our feathers. You know, back in the mid-2010s, I used to take a lot of that stuff to heart, but now being 12 years in this league, I'm just worried about what we can do to be the best we can be.
Did you at least see the Ja comment this week about him not being worried about anybody in the West?
I did not. I do not watch much. I don't watch a lot of interviews, but that doesn't. I mean, come on, like, I don't care.
So, man, for me personally, as a fan of the game, I like to see this humble pie served to a young team like the Grizzlies, because they were out of pocket, and they stay out of pocket at times, you know, when they have a little momentum. And what I know what they're trying to say is they feel like they would have won last year had Ja not gone down, but that's a part of the injuries is the biggest part of the game, in my opinion. Your availability at key moments in the season, yes, some of it you can't control, but when it becomes a pattern, you know, there's there's an issue there, I feel like, with style of play. And in Ja's case, he crashes and burns a lot. And some of those where he tries to jump over players and dunk on them, or try to jump through 3 players and hang, and he just falls any kind of way, I feel like the accumulation of some of those plays can cause an injury that may not even be related to a specific game. And that's where, you know, over time players start to get non-contact injuries. And I feel like those are the most dangerous. You know, when you just running down the court and you just pull, you know, you just grab at your knee or your ankle or whatever, that's whenever your body is saying, hey, I'm wearing down, you know. So I feel like the Grizzlies just need to play and control what they can control. Let your quality of play do the talking instead of your mouth. Because one thing the Warriors don't need is bulletin board material. Now, let's say the Warriors has been struggling, right? Say if they stay around where they're at now and they even grab like the 8th seed or end up in the play-in, and say the Grizzlies finish 1st or 2nd, or and Golden State finishes like 7th or 8th, right? And that's what you get in the first round. But say they hit their stride at the end. Say they come in the playoffs on like an 8-game win streak. Y'all finish 1st or 2nd, right? And, you know, y'all are like go 3-3 in the last few games. Do you want to see, okay, put it like this, would y'all be the favorites in that series? Like, do you think most people would think y'all were the favorites in that series, or do you think you still be the underdog? You just be an underdog with home court advantage. We would pick Steph's team over Ja's team in that situation, because let me tell you, it's one thing to be playing freely and trying to pull off the upset. It's another thing to be expected to beat a team with all this experience, and you have that pressure on you now where you are a top seed that's supposed to win. And you got this team, man, with all this championship pedigree, all this experience, and they just playing with house money. It's hard to win in that situation. So, I don't know, man. I hope this humbles the Grizzlies. And I want to hear what Ja has to say, because he had a lot to say last week. We'll be updating y'all on this back and forth between the Grizzlies, specifically Ja Morant and the rest of the league, especially the Warriors, man. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace out.